welcome or welcome back. It's the old Bingley Wheeler here, out and about on the mucky, dirty, filthy, cold, slimy, slidey, horrible late winter roads. It's the 28th of February. It would be the last day of February today, but for the fact, of course, that we're in a leap year, so we get the 29th tomorrow. Hey! And then on Friday, 'tis the 1st of March, which meteorologically speaking is the first day of spring. Meteorologically speaking, not astronomically speaking. Astronomically speaking, it comes with the vernal equinox round about the 21st, give or take, of March. But here we are, back end of February, and the roads are still bloody horrible. It's still flipping cold, so I've got my heated gloves on, I'm pleased to say, and about 98,000 layers. And oh dear, these reservoirs are brim full. It's done nothing but piss it down for what? Certainly the entirety, give or take, of the last month. But there we go. Get it out of your system, weather gods, before spring comes, and then give us some richly deserved warm, dry weather. Now then, the Tec Bike Parts Cannon exhaust system. Just listen to that. Whoa, that tickles my pickles. What a difference. What a difference over the stock exhaust. And they were nice enough in terms of the general tone. But I think on this bike, they're a bit too big and chromy for the nature of this bike, which isn't a particularly chromy bike. So I think the brushed stainless steel finish on these Tec Bike Parts exhausts and silencers is much more appropriate to the overall styling of this bike. Super Meteor 650. Now, you can either get from Tec the complete system like this, or you can get just the Cannon silencers and fit them to the chrome pipes, the OEM chrome pipes, so you don't have to remove the chrome pipes and fiddle about with the O2 sensors and the rest of it. However, what you cannot do is to the way around. Not that you would, but you can't put the Tec Bike Parts pipes on and then put the OEM silencers back on, because that will seriously mess with the ECU and it'll be engine light city for the rest of your life. Hey! So, full disclosure here, Tec Bike Parts did send me this complete system. Thank you, Tec Bike Parts, and thank you in particular to Matt there, who always looks after me. A fantastic company doing some fantastic aftermarket parts for Triumphs and Royal Enfields. But they are not paying me one brass penny to bring you my thoughts on this exhaust system. So this is not a paid promotion. This is just my evaluation. Yes, and I can hear the groans and I can see the eyes rolling, and they all say that, don't they? Well, maybe they do, maybe they don't. And the only way you'd know for sure would be to climb inside my head and know that I'm being absolutely sincere. So, have I noticed a difference in performance? Well, I will give that a qualified yes. So over and above standard on this bike, I've fitted the DNA Stage 2 air filter, and of course this Tec Bike Parts Complete Cannon performance exhaust system. And I definitely feel like the bike is more urgent, more responsive, has a bit more traction, a bit more shove, a bit more willingness, and overall sense of power delivery. Now then, it may be, as these things sometimes are, that is, shall we say, a psychological notion. It may be that the glorious sound and the mean looks of these pipes have somewhat induced me to feel that the bike's more powerful. But you know, whether in terms of hard numbers it is, or whether it's just an impression that I get because of those factors, is largely irrelevant, because if the bike feels and sounds more powerful, then it is. It doesn't matter what the numbers say. Motorcycling is an immersive experience. It's about how you feel on the bike, and if you feel on any given bike that because of some improvements you've made, the bike performs better in certain areas, then it does, whether or not the numbers bear it out. So I don't know. It may well be that if we stuck this bike on a dyno, that what the back wheel's kicking out would be a bit more than what it would without this exhaust upgrade and without the DNA air filter. But the sound of this machine is glorious, absolutely bloody glorious. And you can't put a price on that. It's always more about how it feels and how it looks than how it is when it comes to motorcycling. Always. How it is irrelevant. What it feels like is everything. And feel free to disagree with me in the comments below. Just keep it respectful, please, because I do bite. Hey! My God, the old crump buns put in a cameo role. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, A59 closed at Kecksgill again. Subsidence, I'm assuming, unless it's part of the work ongoing for the new stretch of it. But anyway, if you're riding around these parts and you're wanting to get into Nidderdale, you are far better taking the route that I've just taken, which is from Otley and then over through Norwood, past the Sun pub there and across the A59. You try and do it from Otley up past the Wharfdale Hospital and down into Blubberhouses, you'll not be able to, because it's shut. She really does sound like she makes business with these pipes on. Yeah, so I hope you found the fitting video informative. And I did it over 2 days, and the second day, hey, as you probably saw, it bloody pissed it down, so we're doing it in the rain. And then of course I realised I'd cocked up by fouling up the brake and gear levers, so I had to send a simpering email to Matt at Tec Bike Parts saying, help, what have I done? And then just before he replied, and too late for me to say, forget it Matt, I've worked it out. Of course I realised what a bell end I'd been, and I'd actually tightened everything up before checking the actual positioning of the exhaust and ensuring there was sufficient clearance. So there you go, we learn by doing. But yeah, a little bit embarrassing that, because of course Matt very kindly, what he could have done of course, he could have emailed me back and said, you absolute bloody muppet, didn't you check everything were in the right position before you tightened everything up? Because there is an issue, because obviously you have to take out, when you replace a system, you have to take out the old copper crush washers, the gaskets in the cylinder head where the pipes meet the cylinder head, and put new ones in which come with the kit. And of course, because I tightened everything up, obviously I'd crushed the crush washers, crushed the new ones. Hey! So I thought, oh. Anyway, he offered in his email, he said, look, don't worry about it, this is what you need to do. And if you need some new gaskets, just let me know, I'll send you. What a fine chap, what an excellent company with an excellent business credo. Yeah, first class. But anyway, as it happened, I just backed off the bolts slightly, because the spec'd up at 18 Newton meters, tighten them up to that. So I just backed them off very slightly, and that gave me enough to be able to just move the exhaust inwards a little and give about an inch of clearance with those levers. And then I nipped them back up again. I did the old tissue paper test round the exhaust headers, and absolutely fine. So fingers crossed, we're all okay there. I did nip them up just a little bit tighter than the specified 18 Newton meters, just to make sure that there were a bit more crushing going on, basically. Any road to that with that, but it just shows you what a helpful bunch of guys they are at Tec Bike Parts, and what a cracking piece of kit this is. It sounds like a Second World War RAF bomber, them like my old man used to work on. Wellingtons and Mosquitoes and Halifaxes, Spitfires, Hurricanes. My old man in the Far East fighting the Japs. That's what it sounds like. Awesome. Let's give a shout out to Nick of Moto UK and Sean of the Mindful Motorcyclist and Jonathan of Wildlife Moto. I've been watching a lot of their stuff again lately. Jonathan on Wildlife Moto is BMW R100 CS is coming on leaps and bounds, looking beautiful. And Sean, Mindful Motorcyclist, I think you're over in Ibiza now, aren't you? You lucky sod. But he's got some upgrades in mind for his BSA Gold Star, so I'll be very interested to see where he goes with that. I think he's looking at making it a little bit scramblerish, which I think's a very good call. I think the BSA Gold Star in scrambler guise would look superb. In fact, old Mr. Darcy, or rather young Mr. Darcy, got hold of a bespoke BSA Gold Star Scrambler recently. I don't know if you saw that. I did look at the dog's dangly bits. I nearly said bollocks then. Bollocks! Aye, so I don't think that's an Ofcom word, is it? I don't think we have to worry about that. But I don't think YouTube have to worry about Ofcom, do they? I don't know anyway. Any road up. So yeah, that'd be interesting to see how that progresses there, Sean. Very interesting indeed. And yeah, Moto UK, Nick. He's just sent back his Royal Enfield Super Meteor after having it 2 weeks, courtesy of Royal Enfield. Hey, you lucky beggar, mate. They won't give me diddly squat. Neither them nor Triumph. You've obviously got some connections in there. I'm insanely jealous. But good luck to you either way. If you have, well done. They won't give me time of day. But to be fair, Nick's got an awful lot more subscribers than I have. Although I have just passed the 8,000 mark. I'm at 8,040 some as we speak. Fabulous, fantastic. Just makes the effort all the more worthwhile. Thank you to each and every one of you who has subscribed, viewed, liked, commented, shared and all of that. Thank you. But yeah, Nick, I think he was certainly impressed with the build quality of the Super Meteor, and I absolutely concur with him. It's come on leaps and bounds from the early Interceptor days. And I think his only issue, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, but I think having watched your video, I think your only really negative comment, well, I think there might have been a couple. One was feet forward riding position, which I get, but I didn't used to be a foot forward fan, and I don't think I would ever be an extreme foot forward fan in the guise of you know, American choppers and all of that sketch. But I just don't notice it on this bike anymore. But to be fair, Tec bike parts do a pair of foot pegs that screw into some spare holes in the frame here, which allow you to take your feet back to a normal riding position if you're getting uncomfortable on a long ride. And I think the other thing that, Nick, that you mentioned is the suspension. But I think as I might have mentioned in one of my comments, it is very firm at the back. The front, the shower suspension at the front's excellent. It's very firm suspension at the back on them twin shocks. I've somewhat improved the ride quality on this by reducing the PSI by a little bit. Oh, and I'll come on to that as well. And by notching up the preload a couple of stops, but it is still very firm. It's certainly better than it was, not bottoming out anymore. But yeah, good positive review there, Nick, of that bike. Really enjoyed it. Like watching your trips down Lancashire, and I'm looking forward to some of your more exotic trips that you've got planned, you lucky fellow. Hope to see you on the road sometimes. We're not a million miles away from each other. I right fancy a pot of steam and a bite to eat at that there old Citroen van that you keep showing us, and I can't remember where the bloody hell it is. It's not Garstang, is it? What am I talking about? Anyway, I forget. You know the one I mean. Any road, so that's that. If I do see you there, mate, I'll buy you a brew. Right, yeah, PSI. Quite a few of you quite rightly said that I were talking about the PSI for this bike being 32 front, 36 rear, and a lot of you quite rightly came back and said, well, hang on a minute, handbook says 41 front, 36 rear, which sounds a bit odd to me, but it is right. That is exactly what it says. So right, Wheeler, you'll be saying, where the hell did you get them Mickey Mouse figures from? And the answer is the Seat website. So these are Seat tyres on the Royal Enfields, Indian made Seat tyres, And on their website it clearly says, or it clearly said when I looked at it, that the PSI for all the Royal Enfield 650 parallel twins is 32 front, 36 rear. So I dropped this to 30 front, 34 rear, and it feels fine. Yeah, I mean, it's a 19-inch front wheel on here, but of course a lot thinner than the back wheel. And I just 41 seems a lot. 41's like it's the standard heavyweight bike rear tyre pressure. It's normally 42, isn't it? 36, 42 on big bikes. But 41 seems a lot. Bit of trial and error. All I will say is don't take my word for it. Be very, very careful and make sure that you take it steady and arrive at a set of the tyre pressures that work for you. Right, let's go for a rock and roll ride with these here new exhausts. Right then, so in the middle of nowhere, here we are, and I hope you got a good impression of the sound of these exhausts as we came up those twisties. Starting to get a nice bit of bronze in at the top end there now, and look very swish indeed, but sound absolutely awesome. And definitely my perception is that these exhausts give you a bit more shove, be that real or imagined. So look at that. Yeah, you can get little clip-on shrouds that cover that bit there. I'm not sure whether I'll put those on yet. Maybe, maybe not, we'll see. But otherwise, yeah, great bit of kit. If you're wanting to add some character and performance to your Super Meteor, or any other bike for that matter, from Triumph or Royal Enfield, I can highly recommend Tec bike parts, because these Tec Cannon exhausts are a cracking bit of kit. Fairly straightforward to fit, look the part, quality item, and sound absolutely awesome. Yeah, highly recommended. And from the wilds of the Yorkshire Dales once more, thank you for watching. If you've watched this far, please click a like, please click subscribe, please feel free to share, it makes all the difference. And if you're feeling particularly generous, you could buy me a coffee by clicking on the super thanks button. And other than that, and until the next time, I'll see thee.